Hi, class. So today we are working on vocabulary. This screencast will cover how to determine the meaning of words using synonyms in the context. Synonyms in the context. So you'll notice I have two screens up. I have my IXL screen, and then I have my note-taking screen. And I'm just going to take notes to help drive home clarity about this skill. So it says read the passage, then select the synonym of the word in bold. So let's read the passage. A survey found that nearly half of the workers didn't negotiate the compensation at their current jobs. So compensation at their current jobs. So workers at their jobs. So the word compensation, if you get compensate, means reward, or it could mean salary, or it could mean benefit. So those are possible meaning other words. So it says a survey found that nearly half of the workers didn't negotiate we could put salary, reward, or benefit at their current jobs. A faltering economy and years of layoffs have made employees avoid the negotiation process and simply accept the pay that they were offered. So we're looking for another word that is a synonym of compensation. So like when you're compensated for something, you're paid for something. Kip Indy's going to compensate you for doing your IXL skills with $50 bonus cash and free dress passes. So that's how you're getting paid for what you do. So as we read again, it says workers didn't negotiate the compensation. So as I look, it says a faltering economy and years of layoffs has made many employees avoid these negotiation process and simply accept the pay. Pay is a synonym of compensation. See, in my notes, it says that it is one of the reward, salary, benefits. So I'm going to pick compensation. I'm going to pick pay as the synonym of compensation because they're both really mean what you get paid for doing a job. So I'll go ahead and hit submit. Hey, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm going to erase my notes and let's go to the next one. So the next, number 2, it says, we are looking, what is the meaning of the word compensation as used in this passage? So as we talked about earlier, that different synonyms, pay was the synonym, compensation was talking about what you get, the reward or the benefit you get for doing a job. I'm going to look through my options. And my options are to increase the payment, jobs, responsibilities, and money given for doing a job. Well, it says that they just simply accept the pay that was offered. So they're not saying that they want more money. And it's not saying that this is their job. It doesn't talk about what their jobs responsibilities are, what their job responsibilities are. So it must be the money given for a job. So I'm going to pick that the way that the word is being used is they're talking about the money given for a job. Hey, 2 for 2. All right, so let's look at the next word. The next word we're looking at is disperse. So it says, read the passage, and we're going to pick the word that is a synonym for disperse. All right. So let's read. So disperse. Seedlings often grow best at a distance from their parent plant, where they can avoid competitions for nutrients. Okay, so right now I'm reading seedlings want their own space. Then it says, as a result, plants have evolved different strategy to disperse seeds away from the parent. So disperse. I know in the first they want their space. They had also said they have different strategies to disperse their seeds. So I know that they want to move their seeds away from the parent plant. All right. So disperse is another way of saying, I don't know, scatter. What's another one? Discharge. Dispel. All those words mean, like to get away, to move, to like spread out. So I'm looking for a word that also means to spread things around, to move them around. It says one such strategy is to use to scatter the seeds to new locations. Well, scatter was one of those words that means disperse. And if you scatter something around, if I took papers and I scattered them around the classroom, they would definitely be all away from me. They'd be all over the place. So scatter must be our synonym for disperse. And there we go. Now it says, what is the meaning of the word disperse used in the passage? And what we do is, now that we know that scatter is our synonym, that will help us know what it is to disperse something. Because we just talked about when we scatter, we throw things all around. So let's look at our options. To send in different directions, to cover an area completely, or to break up in pieces. Well, it doesn't say that they break up the seeds away from the parent, because that would be weird. Because if they broke the seeds into smaller pieces, they probably wouldn't grow. To cover an area completely. Well, it didn't really say that they cover an area completely. It's just talking about scattering them around, is moving them all the way in different directions. So our last option is to send in different directions. And I will choose that. Hit submit. Boom. There we go. All right, we'll do one more for the sake of driving this skill home. So let's look at our last one we will do. It says, read the passage, select the synonym for the word in bold. As the sun began to set, the island castaway was barely able to discern a ship on the horizon. Barely able to discern a ship on the horizon. So we're looking for a synonym for the word discern. Discern. Did that mean someone on board the ship might have been able to notice him too? He jumped to his feet and frantically waved his arms, yelling, "Over here, over here." So to discern. So discern, if you discern, I discern a very ugly tone in your voice. I don't know, different ways of saying discern would be like to detect, to determine, to discern, to find out. So those are different like ways, different, when I see the word discern come to mind, those are like different like other words that come to mind when I think of the word discern. So we're looking for a word that has the same meaning. So he was barely able to discern a ship on the horizon. So if I'm standing and the sun's setting, so I'm squinting a little bit, so I can look out and I'm barely able to like detect. So I'm looking, I can barely see something. So that's what I'm talking about when I talk about the ship. I'm barely able to see it. So then as I keep reading, I'm looking for a word that means like barely able to see or make out. did that mean someone on board might be able to notice him too? Well, notice, you could say he was barely able to like notice a ship on the horizon. So those mean about the same thing. Notice and discern. Did they detect? Did they see? Did they determine him? So was someone on board able to detect him too? We could use that word in there. So I'm going to hit submit, and there we go. Well, that is how you'll continue to do the rest of these questions. I know you guys will crush it. Take your time. Look at how the word's being used and what it's saying when you complete it. All right, go ahead, get started.